Hi guys, welcome back to the Restorantine series where I interview members, community leaders, and friends of Restore to hear more about their experience during the ongoing COVID quarantine. Today, I'm excited to have a conversation with my friend and colleague, Melissa Ritsma. Melissa is the children's director at Restore Church, and she's been doing a lot of work to continue to provide resources for parents to provide ongoing children's ministry, even though we're unable to gather. But she's also a mother. And when we had this conversation, she was at 10 days of doing distance learning with her kids. And so I wanted to hear from her about what her experience has been like, what are some lessons that she's learned, and maybe what are some things and ideas she could share with all of us as we are in a similar situation, trying to get our kids through not just their distance learning during the day, but also weekends, and what are some things that she's done with her kids to keep them occupied. So I'm looking forward to this conversation. I hope you are too, and here's how that went. All right, so you ready?
I'm ready. I can do this.
Good. Well, thank you for making time this morning. I know that that's not easy in the Ritsma household.
It was a production and a half to make this happen, but we're here, and I think I'm locked in. I don't think anybody's going to come running in.
Oh, well, I thought to myself, that's going to be highly unlikely that we're going to make it through this without at least one of our children coming in and interrupting it.
I'm betting it's going to happen, but I think I'm hearing, I think Ken took everybody outside, so we might be in luck.
That's great. So what is life like in your house? What's been like the biggest challenge for your children?
I think for the kids, the challenge wasn't learning online like that. I feel like that was just normal for them. They kind of just did it at home, but it's just, they miss their friends. That's the biggest thing. Like, they see them a little bit in morning meeting. We try to do Skype and all that, but just missing that every day, connecting with their friends and seeing them and playing that with them. That's the one that's hitting them the most. Even the older kids, like not just the little ones. It's even the big kids are missing it.
Yeah. Judah definitely can't figure that piece out. He does not understand why he hasn't been seeing anybody. He wants to keep doing things that are in his routine, like going to Target. He keeps asking, I want to go to Target.
Oh, me too, Judah.
I know, we all do.
I want to go to Target.
Yeah, but the older ones have done that, thing. Then they wake up and they're like, I'm bored. What am I going to do today? And we're like, You're going to do the same thing you've done every day for the last 2 weeks.
Kayla keeps saying, what's on our calendar for tomorrow? And I'm like, nothing. There's nothing on our calendar forever.
Yeah, exactly. So what have you done to try to help them maintain some of that like social interaction?
Well, we are doing the best that we can to let them, if they ask to Skype a friend, if they ask to call somebody, usually we try to limit that. And now we're like, go ahead. Like, as long as there's a device free for us to find for you, you can go ahead and do that. We did lift a lot of the restrictions for the older kids as far as like screen time, just so that they could have that where they can get in touch with their friends. And shout out to my mother-in-law. She is reading a book on YouTube to them every night and sending them a YouTube video. So like, they feel like they've got grandma still like coming over and doing things with them. So that's just trying to make it happen for them. We did a couple drive-by birthday parties. So they got out of the house. Bonus. Somebody else. Bonus. And
from the distance of their cars, they were like yelling back, like 2 or 3 cars back. Or I think your car, when we went to Miss Baki's the other day, I don't remember how far back your car was from ours, but the girl, like when we ran around the corner, the girls were like leaning out, like the Ritsmas are back there. That was like the extent of their social interaction.
It's like, I'm like, this is it. Sorry, guys. Like, when we drove by Mrs. Baki's, they're like falling out the window to be like, can we hug you? Can we say hi? Like
no.
I'm sorry, guys.
No, you can't. So
this is it.
When you obviously have a lot of children. You have several school-age kids.
Yep.
4 are currently, right? Wyatt's not doing anything, or is he?
No, he is. He's in pre-K 4, so we have like, he comes on his regular schedule. So it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we log on. So
Hmm.
3 days a week, all 5 of them are doing stuff.
Yeah.
And then, doing the best with him I can as far as, the stuff that they're sending home to
Right.
accomplish some stuff. But
Well,
yeah, so
today is day 10. I mean, we've been at
is it?
this a while. Well, yeah. I mean, this is the Friday. This is 2 weeks, right? We've been doing this a
Yeah.
full 2 weeks.
Wow. I'm like, I don't even know. You could have told me it was day 52 and I would have been like, okay.
Well, that's just it. I was like, on the one hand, you're like, oh, it doesn't feel like it was that long. And on the other hand, you're like, did we ever not do it this way?
Right, right.
What's a school bus?
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. My
Um,
my car, that's what it is.
right, exactly. So what have you discovered is like some of the best practices? Like, I mean, is there anything that you've discovered over 10 days that you're like, hey, this really worked for my kids in terms of just their distance learning?
I think we're still trying to figure it out, kind of, is the short answer. But I made a schedule, which I didn't really want to have to do, but I did. We kind of did a daily routine, and then they kind of know what's expected. And they have routine in school, right? And they follow that, and that's how they get through their day. So we did a little bit of a routine so that there's some structure for what's happening in the day. It's not every man for himself. But I started out everybody at the kitchen table, and quickly I was like, this is not going to work. Like, we cannot all just be like right here, because it was easiest for me to get to everybody if you were all in like one spot. So now we've, like, as I saw what each child kind of needed to be successful, we've modified their learning spaces. So like Jaden's like in his spider chair in the living room. If I had a picture, I would show you. Tessa has herself like tucked in a corner with like pillows and blankets and like a laptop tray. And like, she's in there with her headphones, like, and she's crushing it. She's like done by lunch almost all day, but
Yeah.
like, he needed to be like tucked away. So that was like, I think my biggest thing for our family is just doing what each kid needed to be able to be successful, even though that maybe looked a little different than what I thought it should look like.
Yeah. Well,
And that's been keeping it rolling pretty smooth.
right. And that's true for anybody who works from home. I mean, people work, you know, and you have to figure that out. Like when you start working from home, you have to figure out, am I going to work better in an office at a desk that's clean? Or am I going to work better on a sofa? Or some people work
Right.
better wrapped in blankets. They're like, that's how I concentrate and think, and I can do that. And, we're trying to help our kids discover that in a way that really, I mean, it's hard. Again, that's hard for adults to figure out what works best for you, let alone our kids.
And it's just kind of trying to pay attention to what they're trying to tell me, and do, and modify what they're doing just to help them. And it's different for every single one of them, and everybody's all at different ages. So what that looks like to help Kayla be successful is different than what it's going to look like for Wyatt to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
And being okay with my house being a little upside down to make that happen. Like, Tessa moved furniture, like,
Yeah.
But
no, we had that conversation this morning where we were like, all right, it's reset time. Like this afternoon when they're all done, it's like, we got to reset the house because it is insane.
There's just,
what is that? You said you had kind of a schedule. What does that look like? Just a, real rough schedule of your day that you said you didn't want to do, but you put together for your kids.
So we're getting up later. I let everybody sleep in. So that was like their one bonus, but it's, we're going to get up, we're going to eat breakfast together, which thankfully like Ken takes care of that for me. So that's like one less thing that I have to structure. He'll do breakfast. So I have like some time in the morning. We do breakfast, we do some morning chores, we get dressed, we get all of our school stuff set. And then so by 8:30 we're doing school. Then we'll like do that for a little bit, break for snack for a little bit, get outside, move around, work until lunch. And then after lunch is, depending on where everybody's at, we usually take like an hour lunch. We get outside. We'll try to, if it's nice. Otherwise, they hack around inside and do crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then after lunch, a little bit more school, and we try to wrap everything up by 2. I get Wyatt down for a nap so I can like have quiet time with the big kids. And then we try to be done by 2. And then at 2, it's like, what do you want to do? Like, what is on your list for today that you want to get accomplished for each of the kids, and kind of let them have some free time of their own that's not structured.
Mm-hmm.
And just keeping it kind of loosely within that has been like moving them along good. So they feel like, you know, there's a definitive start and then there's an end point.
Yeah. And it is a lot nicer when it's nice outside, you know,
Oh,
they can go.
makes a whole difference.
Oh yeah, it does. I mean, if they're stuck inside and, you know, we found that when the kids are done with their schooling, they're like, I don't really want to be on my iPad anymore, you know, unless they're FaceTiming a friend, they're like,
Right,
you
right.
know, so if it's not nice outside, they just feel like I have nothing to do, you know?
Exactly.
So the
Well,
other thing
here's my tip for anybody with more than 2 children. They have been playing sardines like it's nobody's business. So when you are stuck inside, that has been the game that will occupy them. They'll play forever. So
Yeah,
that's
that's a
my
good
at-home
idea.
rainy day tip right there.
It sounds like the house would become more of a mess with the children playing sardines in it.
It's chaos, but they're occupied and like they don't need me. So I'm fine with it. I'll clean up afterwards.
I think I want to play sardines and I want to go hide somewhere in my house where the kids can't find me.
And that would be amazing.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you, because I know you've been, you know, and we've talked about some of the work you're doing to try to, as the children's director at Restore, you know, how are you trying to get ministry stuff into parents' hands? Like, what are some of the things you're doing from that regard?
Yeah. You know, the one thing, and we've talked about this too, I'm super thankful for the curriculum that we have because so much of it is online accessible already. Like, you know, each week, normally I would be printing a lot of stuff out and getting it into the classrooms and getting that stuff set. But a lot of it is already online. So it's just a matter of getting it turned into documents that I can get out in our weekly email to parents. And then just getting them links where they can get to things. So I'm super thankful that at least it's making my job easy in that. But so, you know, we're doing the Sunday lesson stuff is happening through email and our Restore Kids blog, so that if parents want to, if they're looking for stuff, they can do the normal Sunday lesson, they can watch the normal Sunday videos, they can work on the memory work, all that stuff that they would normally do during, you know, kids worship, they can do at home. And then we're trying to get stuff up on Instagram, Facebook, you know, get things out that way. Just little tips for parents during the week. If you're looking for something extra, you can get on our Restore's social media and find little things to kind of keep you busy throughout the week that way too. So, and you know, it's a learning curve too. Like, even though we had lessons online, it's just like, well, what kind of stuff can we get out there? What type of stuff are people looking for? And, you know, trying to be relevant without overwhelming the parents.
Yeah. And that is, you know, so, well, first of all, so it sounds like if somebody were looking for stuff that they could do with their kids, you'd say, hey, yeah, follow Instagram, Facebook. Both of those, I think, are at RestoreNJ.
Yeah.
And the website, restoreworship.org. And you said there's the Restore Kids blog is on there.
Yep.
There's some other stuff that they can look at.
Yep. And the Restore Kids blog has got, like, we're trying, the one thing that we rolled out, I think I did the post last night, is we're trying to just have one page for everybody to go to. Like, I know for me, like, I'm getting inundated with all helpful stuff, but it's coming at me from all different directions. So we've created kind of one post where we're going to put up links for things to do, whether it's devotions, whether it's activities, whether it's, you know, like virtual field trips, so that it's kind of all cataloged for you, that you can come back and look at that and you don't have to pop everywhere. But we also want to kind of keep it in front of you with Instagram, Facebook, and that sort of stuff.
Right. Yeah. And it is true. I mean, there's so many things coming at us, you know. I know we were joking at staff meeting about, you know, it's like everything you've ever signed up for is telling you how they're dealing with their COVID-19 response. And you're like, I don't care how my car insurance.
No, exactly. Just don't cancel me.
Yeah, exactly. But I know what you mean. And I think that's smart to say, hey, here's some stuff that's out there, but, you know, not like just inundating people with it.
Yeah. Because, you know, like, some days I am just super overwhelmed with just getting school done. Yeah. And some days I'm like I'm looking for more stuff to do. And so I figure most parents are probably bopping back and forth between either one of those. And then there's somewhere to go.
Yeah, I think that's true. I mean, I know that's how we feel most days, where some days you're like, oh boy, I wish I had some ideas. And other days you're like, I don't even have time to think about what else
Right.
I could be thinking about,
Yeah.
It's a weird spot. Well, I appreciate everything that you're doing, and thanks for having a conversation today. And I think it's going to be helpful, hopefully, for people to just hear, hey, we're all in this together.
It's all the same thing. It just looks a little bit different in everybody's house. It's all the same.
Yeah,
level of
exactly. Well,
crazy.
you picked a nice room to sit in. That room looks like it's still orderly and the kids haven't destroyed it. So
Can I tell you something for real that happened? So this is Ken's work from home office, because even before this, he's had to work from home. But he hasn't really had to do video calls.
oh
So
yeah.
it didn't matter. I mean, what this room looked like before this all went down and what it looks like now, totally different. I mean, we spruced it up for the purpose of, we're both going to have to be doing this. We should probably have it not look like the kids exploded behind us.
Oh yeah. So you had to go out and buy some books. You went to the library discarded book section, and you're like, it doesn't matter what they are.
Put them all up.
Yeah.
It's all Shakespeare and the classics back there. That's what that's.
Yeah, of course
it
is.
Yeah.
Well, that's funny. I said to Christy, I mean, whatever. We've had those same conversations. I'm like, every time I go do one of these things, I look around. I'm like, is this clean? Like, did I leave anything sitting out back there? Or like,
I know. We literally are like, it can only like this. This is the view. Don't turn it either way or it's not going to look great. This is the only way you can conference.
Is that the room your bird was in?
Yes. And our friends just asked us that last night. They're like, well, where's the bird? We moved him. He's in the dining room now. So now he makes appearances on all the kids' calls.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Instead of ours.
Well, that's fun. Sometimes Shiloh gets in here with me and then she gets her head on video. But anyway.
It's the reality right now. Everything is popping in and out of these calls.
I know. I did hear a kid come downstairs not that long ago, and I thought they're going to come bursting in this.
Here it comes.
Yeah. But anyway. All right. Well, thanks again. Have a good rest of your day.
Absolutely. You guys too. Enjoy your weekend.
All right. Yep. We'll see you soon.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
That's all I have for you today. I hope you found that conversation helpful. These videos are posted every Monday and Thursday, and if there's anyone in the community that you'd like to hear from, please let me know, and I'd be happy to try to set up a conversation. In the meantime, if you're enjoying this series, please feel free to share these videos on Facebook, like them on YouTube, or subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.